Welcome to the Bourbon Jerk. Thanks again for the click. So last weekend we made the trip up to Freeland, Michigan for the grand opening of EverNorth Spirits. Now, if you haven't heard of EverNorth Spirits, it's a new whiskey brand started up by Dan Shook and Sean Paisley, who, if you don't already know who they are, they're known here on YouTube as the Bourbon Junkies. Now, I've been following their channel for the last several years, and it's really been fascinating and honestly inspiring to see how they've been able to parlay the success of their YouTube channel and the community that they've cultivated there into actually starting their very own whiskey brand. Their doors officially opened at 9 a.m. on Saturday, February 24th. Since they were putting up a handful of different bottles for sale to the public for the first time, I figured I probably better get there pretty early. Really had no idea if there's going to be a line to get in or honestly what to expect at all. All right, we're recording. All right, good morning. Today is Saturday, February 24th. It is 9 o'clock and we are in freezing cold Freeland, Michigan. Now, I've lived in Michigan my whole life and I've never been to Freeland. In fact, if I'm being honest, I don't think I've even ever heard of it. Our directions took us to this dirt road just off the highway, and almost as soon as we made that turn, we started to see cars lined up on both sides of the road.
Check out all these cars here. There could be a million of them. Hopefully it's not that many.
We knew that had to be it because there's literally nothing else around. As we started making our way towards the building, the thing that I noticed, all of the out-of-state license plates. Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Missouri, Florida, just to name a few. And if you think about it, it's pretty amazing that people from all over the country made the drive out to check out the grand opening and support these guys.
All right, here we are. There's the food truck. About to head in, see what it's all about.
So when we get to the building, thank God there's no line outside to get in. First thing we notice inside is that there's this line running around the inside perimeter. I asked, and that's the line to buy bottles. So I line up, and I see that there's a chalkboard with a list of all of the bottles that they've got for sale. I want to say there was about 6 or so. But within like 2 minutes, 2 of them get crossed off, and I'm thinking, geez, I might not get anything. I guess that's what I get for not getting there a little bit earlier. As we get closer to the front of the line, I notice that they've got like this little nook with all of their merch, t-shirts, hoodies, glasses, and other goodies. Get to the front of the line, and I was able to snag 3 of the bottles that they had. I'll circle back to those in just a minute. I think the bottle line moved pretty fast. Maybe it took about 30 minutes all said and done. And then I noticed there was a separate line to get pours. Now, it's still only about 9:45 or so, a little early to be drinking whiskey, but I don't have to drive, and we made the trip. So what am I gonna do? Not get a pour?
First pour of the day at 9:30 a.m.
Turns out it's the man himself, Sean Paisley, pouring. So I introduced myself, congratulated him on the grand opening. Just a super nice guy. We kind of made our way around to check out the rest of the building. We checked out the barrel room, kind of got a glimpse of what they might be blending up for some future releases. They had some really cool custom barrel heads that they put out for everybody to sign to commemorate the occasion. After we did that, we got hungry. Thank goodness they had this kick-ass food truck there. Still kind of thinking about that grilled cheese sandwich. Anyway, I walked away really impressed with everything that we got to see and experience there. And there was a certain satisfaction in seeing the guys finally get to open their doors after following their journey for the last couple of years. So now let's talk about their whiskey. But before we do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You're not going to want to miss this special giveaway we do when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Let's go. The first one that I've got here is from their Essence series. This is 6-year-old MGP, which was then finished for 3 months in a pear brandy barrel from France. It comes in at 110 proof. I've had a few pours of this one already, and I can tell you that I really like it. The pear brandy finish adds an extra layer of subtle fruity sweetness that is not overpowering. It may also add to the viscosity and stickiness of it. I think it was a pretty bold move to go for something like this right out of the gate, but it came out really well, and I think it really puts their stamp on this bourbon. The next one that I got is under their Spirit Walker label, which I believe is another product line like Essence. Take a closer look at that label. Look at the detailed artwork and the color. Now, if you're putting out a new whiskey brand and you want your bottle to stand out on the shelves amongst the masses, this is how you go do it. According to the label, it's a high rye bourbon distilled in Maryland and then finished in a wildflower honey barrel, which was then blended with a low rye bourbon distilled in Indiana and finished in a toasted barrel. It doesn't carry an age statement, and it ended up at 112 proof. I just did a video with a couple of different honey barrel finished bourbons, and this just might be the best one I've tried yet. The last one that I grabbed was their Amberana wood finished bourbon. They actually had this one available at 2 different proofs. I went with a slightly higher proof at 120. This is 6-year MGP, which I believe was then finished with the Amburana spirals being inserted directly into the barrel, or barrels. I'm not sure how long they left the Amburana in, and Amburana is difficult to get just right. The nose on this one, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and root beer. Very desserty. A lot of times Amburana can overpower everything, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Maybe the higher proof stands up to the Amburana influence a bit better than it does at lower proofs. This also has a bit more of that root beer note than other Amburanas that I've had. Bottom line, if you like Amburana finished whiskey, you're gonna like this. If you don't, this isn't really gonna change your mind. Overall, I'm a fan of what EverNorth has accomplished with this wave of releases. If you want to get your hands on these to try, for now you're gonna have to visit EverNorth in person or become a member of the Bourbon Junkies Patreon community. Once again, another huge congratulations to the guys for getting your label up and running. Thanks for watching. Stay jerky.